Sickick in the building. Round of applause.
Let's go.
Come on. Dude, and before we started rolling here, we were talking about how it's been a grind, it's been a hustle. It's been 4 years straight.
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
And as I walked into the room, I was telling you too that this and your energy and your music like got a lot of people, me included, through the pandemic. It was so dope to see how music was evolving at that point in time, and you stepping in front of the decks while we were all at home, and I'm like, what is this sound? What are these mashups? What's this energy? Start with it from your heart, fam. Like, where did music hit you? When did it hit you?
Well, music in general hit me from a really, my parents got me my first keyboard when I was 4 years old, and I remember the small little Casio thing and pressing the buttons, and me making sound right away. I knew like this is something that's gonna speak to my soul forever.
Yeah.
So ever since then, you know when you play bowling and you have those guardrails up sometimes? Like that's how I've been going through life. Like every decision I've made has been, is this for the music career or not? And somehow life keeps me in this lane, you know what I mean? And I finally made it to.
But the thing, those bounces up against the rails are those different ways that you put your personal energy and spin on some of these classic records, dude. We're gonna get to the album that, just got here a little bit ago, but there's a little something different to this one. But yeah, who are some of those artists growing up that you were like, yo, I like this, but wait till I put my spin on it?
You know what's interesting, man? I know for sure, like just intuitively, I feel like I'm a young soul.
Yeah.
But all the people that I aspire to be like my icons, they're all like Freddie Mercury, you know, all the classics, you know, Prince, and I've studied their music.
Yeah.
And there's something about their personal soul and their artistry that really makes me feel alive. So that's where I draw mine.
And that's really dope because, I mean, they were working with instruments because that's what they had at the time.
Yeah.
You're taking this tech, and that's what we have in our generation, and that's your influence on their influence of you, bro.
Right.
Like, it's so wild. Like, all right, so let me think of, like, even like nowadays, if you're saying those kind of cats, what about someone like a Post Malone, the way that
Of course. No, the artists of today definitely have something special to offer, for sure.
Yeah.
But even they'll tell you they drew inspiration from those greats, right?
I feel like you got so many sounds going on in your brain. Like, you can make something from like the oompa, oompa. Like, that's so fire. You know what I mean?
Man. Thank you, man.
Yo, for real. All right, so let me go ahead and let's to folks who are just now tapping in and wondering and getting to know who Sikick is, bro. The mask. And how does that, recently I saw a really dope post on social media about how fear and how that equates to the way that you keep the mask on.
So I went, like most people, there's a pivotal part in your life where when you hit it, you either become this person or you become something totally different. And I hit this place where I lost who I was and my personal self-value because a particular dream didn't get to where I was hoping it would get to. And it shattered me, you know, like I thought I'd be this person for so long, and it ended up being that wasn't the case. So I forgot, like it was, I can't really describe a crippling anxiety. Have you felt that before?
Yeah,
you know
where you go down that tunnel where you think like your self-worth, it was so built up that you were supposed to be one way, and it didn't happen that way.
Exactly.
And you start to spiral and think like, what is my meaning to be here?
But bro, like to the next level, like I physically couldn't get out of bed. It was like being drunk 24/7, dizzy, like couldn't look at myself in the mirror. So I was in that place for 2 years. And even though I was in that place, somehow music, I would still run to the studio, having a panic attack, whatever. I just make a song just for those 3 minutes to save myself. That's all I was trying to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, over the course of a year, unintentionally, I had built up this body of work that ended up being what Sikick is today.
Sick.
And we put out our first project. It got to 1 million right away. And it was like, you know, because I think going back to the whole thing of feeling, real feeling, I really all I was putting into that was encouragement and like, you can do this, like, don't worry. And you know, like, knock on wood, bro, like, no medication, no nothing like that.
That's a blessing.
I was able to beat the anxiety dip in my life.
That's a blessing, and I'd imagine so. I mean, we got some of the family, we got some of the boys behind the camera. What does it mean to have those who truly believe in you know that they are there for you to help you? You know what I mean? At those times, or also at the same flip side of it, for those family members to be like, bro, you got to get your shit straight. You know what I mean? To call you out at sometimes.
Bro, okay. as an artist, if you really do get the heights that you want to achieve, you're going to be around the highest level of temptation, all this money, everything you want. You're a human, man. You're going to get into some things, and you have your team is everything, and I'm so blessed to have the best one because they keep me in check all the time, and you know, I am where I am because of them, and there's no question about that.
So here's the question, because when you do get that first Grammy, and we do reveal the face, but you probably won't
you did your homework. Let's go.
Come on. No, I'm in it. I'm in it, fam. Who's going to be the one that's going to remove it? Will it be you, or will you bestow that responsibility on somebody else?
So the first time, the first face reveal will for sure be me. I have this vision of just that is my speech. You know, you don't need to say anything.
You don't need to say much.
You know what I mean? But if you want to get into deeper stuff, when I'm ready to put away the mask for life, I imagine I would have built a legacy that I can then take this mask and hand it down to somebody on an epic stage, you know?
You're doing that.
You know?
Yo, as you think about...
and then own their firstborn forever. No, I'm just joking.
They will be forever named Sickick. Just like Trisha Paytas named her child Aquaman. Yeah, your first child is going to be named Sickick. That's what it's going to be. Let's talk about this music, man, because, like I said before, for me, the first introduction was, 4 or 5 years ago, when I was watching and seeing all the dope mashups and stuff. But now you're putting more of you, and it's not so much, that, but it's your spin on some of these bangers.
Exactly. What is your question?
Just how did it get there? Where did that feeling come from?
Like you said, like you heard, was it around COVID time you had heard of what we're doing? So that's exactly what it was. You had mentioned on the fact that like you knew that you were everyone was at home, and my team, like Rain specifically, was like, bro, everyone's gonna be on their phones. Let's just flood. So all I did was, it wasn't even work to me, bro. I was at home and I was like, I love this song, I'm passionate about this. Let's just put something, fun together. And organically, from 400,000 followers to 4 million. Even, bro, TikTok called us and was like, are you guys buying bots?
Hold up, let me ask, is it a man or a woman? Is it a robot? Who the hell is TikTok? You said TikTok called you. Like, that's crazy.
The TikTok god, the god of TikTok came down.
That's wild. Damn.
No, they were really impressed, and it really is, like, I want to drive home the fact, organic, like, the fan base that we've built is diehards of organic people, and even when we go to tour, whatever the case is, to fill a stadium or to fill out, like, these club shows that we do, to see the real passion in these people's faces, I mean, that's how you know I've won, It's not about my bank account or whatever the case is, about those faces and saving those people's lives. So.
As you're from above the crowd and you are performing, man, are there still moments of butterflies? You know what I mean? Does the hand get a little jittery before you first hit play, or you know what I'm saying? You're working you're working the drum machine. You're like, are there little bits of that still every day? How is that feeling in your heart to know that you're still alive?
I think, whoa, that's a good question. I think as an artist, if you don't tread in deeper waters constantly, then you're not really fulfilling your personal potential. So of course, I still get the butterflies in this because I care about this, This isn't just a paycheck for me as a club. That I really care about what these people go through in that 90 minutes. And, I hope they leave feeling more encouraged to just take on life in a better way.
You're putting in so much work, and everything from the creation, of the production of the music, but also the visuals. How dope is that? And how fun is that to watch it come to life when you're like,
it's great. It's great. I mean, like, again, I would like to be involved in many places as I can, but the visual department isn't totally me.
Yeah.
It's mainly my team, Rain, Raj, and Dan.
It goes back to that family, bro.
We have another person, Urgent. Like, bro, everybody is such masters of their own individual fields. AI, and we're going into the world of AI now. You have to be on top of that. It's the stupidest thing I've seen in these interviews, like people saying, no, music as an artist, no, you gotta stay away from it. No, you don't. You need to understand how this is a tool And just as long as you still feel like there's soul, you're putting soul into art, use it as an extension of yourself. And that's exactly what we do.
Yo, that's really cool that I was gonna talk a little bit about that, like the adoption of new tech, and how that's finding its way into the production. I mean, it's not necessarily typing in a prompt and seeing what comes out, but it's hearing a sound or seeing where it takes you and finding how you can humanize.
Exactly. And bro, like if you look at it this way, you know what Suno is, I imagine you do, right? Yeah, okay. Suno, you can put in a prompt and you get a thing. All that is to me is a way to make royalty-free samples. That's all it is. You're making a song that no one claimed that has the rights to, and then you take it and then you sample it like you would any other song, and you don't have to worry about no clearance issues. That's what it is to me. So that's how I've been using it. And I don't put in a prompt and go, "Oh, here's my new song now." No, you don't do that, right? You use it in a clever way. So that's kind of trust me. And there's an album I'm releasing in 2026. I don't want to release the name of it yet.
But time out. You're already talking 2026,
bro. We're 3 years ahead. This is Apple, my
man.
Just
a couple of days ago, will.i.am sat in the same very chair, and I'm starting to think, bro, you guys are both of y'all, and Taboo from the Peace, y'all are living in the year 2075 right now, dog. We're just trying to catch up.
Bro, come on, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, we have the next 10 years stepped out, planned out. I know where I want to get to.
Yes.
Now we're just figuring out the meat on how to get there.
I want to get to the humanization of that and know that you have a game plan and know that you're following your heart and it's leading you in that way. Dealing with some of the struggles that a lot of us have dealt with and some that you just explained in our convo, man. How fulfilling is it to you to know that you're on the right trajectory, you're on that path, and it's making your heart happier more than anything?
I don't have a plan B, dude. There is no, like, I think I can, do, like, retail or something like that now. Not knocking anyone in retail. I'm just saying it's a stepping stone. Me, my personal calling, I know, is music. So all these little wins that we have daily. And remember, like, it's not really about the destination, as you know. It's about the journey. The journey is what is your W's, your little W's. And, who knows, there's ups and downs in the music industry, how long I'll have this for. Right now, I'm having the time of my life, so I feel like I won.
You wouldn't be grinding for 4 years straight, man, and taking this as your time to have a break, but you're still working. You know what I'm saying? If you weren't really feeling it,
you know what I mean?
Along
you know
the way.
What I mean? Yeah.
Dog, as we put a little bow on this conversation here, by the way, can we show the Dolce & Gabbana sneakers? Bro, what shoe size are you, bro? Because we might have to exchange.
You're a little bit bigger than me.
You know what I mean? Those are fire.
Thank you, bro. I mean, Sickick, bro. Come on, right? You know what I mean? You got to.
You got to. I want to ask you, just one more. Like, as you are influenced by a lot of those folks that you mentioned before. How and what would it mean to you to know that you are the influence for a lot of people, that look up to you? I try my best. I know this might be a weird answer, but I try not to think about that because then it becomes about. Like it's weight that all I'm trying to do is just make sure I wake up and I feel good about what I've done at the end of the day, and I know that I'm saving souls. I know I am, but to know that someone regards me as like someone up there, it's such a blessing. But I can't let that consume my mind because then it's there's only one way that goes. It's gonna make my head big. You know what I mean? Well, what's really dope is that you're operating from that space. And that's a beautiful way to embrace what it is, and that's why we're turning out to shows. That's why the streams are up. That's why you went from like I said. That's why you had TikTok calling you, because it just was such a natural this is just somebody who is just putting their all into what it is that they're doing, and that right there means the most to anybody who loves your music, dog.
Thank you.
Dead ass, dog.
Thank you, man.
And the way that this Jackson flip came too, man. And then it started with me with MJ a couple years back. All right, so we can go down a whole rabbit hole. But I will say though, man, it's just a blessing to know that the human soul is what is resonating in this electronic music that's really connecting, and it seems like you're having fun, and it feels like you're having fun, and now I know that you're having fun because of this conversation, like for real.
Thank you, bro. What a pleasure. What
an always an open door policy here when you pull up to New York City, dude. KTU is with you, fam. So let it be known. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. One more time, round of applause from behind the camera and everybody that's watching at home. Sickick in the building.